Yo, what is up guys? It's your boy Mike. You already know what is up and what is good. And in today's video, I want to be talking about how Myles Turner can really turn this Pacers team around and make them go from good to really great. Now, let's start with something we've all been able to witness, or at least keep up with, and that's his transformation. So, as you guys know, in the summer, Myles Turner has been really putting in work, doing yoga, getting his body right, boxing, and really putting in work on his body and his game to really transform his body. And as you guys can see by the pictures and the images and the videos being posted up, Myles Turner has really took his body to the next level and his diet, similar to when Victor Oladipo made his transformation last summer and really got his body right. And you guys saw how impactful a transformation can make on your body when playing a sport, basketball, football, anything. And if Myles Turner's transformation is anything like Victor Oladipo's, then this Pacers team is in really good shape for next season and years to come, because they are one of the youngest teams in the league. So if Myles Turner can really get his transformation right, similar to how Victor Oladipo did, then again, this Pacers team is in really good shape for next season and years down the road. Myles Turner really built up his strength and his agility and power this summer to where he can fully take advantage down in the post with that added strength and springness in his jump and his body. So hopefully that can transform to his post game as well, or that added strength and springness in his jump can really help him be more effective down in the post. Now, my next thing is his mentality is much more rounded out. You know, it takes a real strong mentality to get back in shape and tell your body and speak to your mind that, you know, this is where my game needs to be compared to where everyone else is. This is where my diet needs to be, and yet alone to stay on that plane the whole summer and for the rest of his probably NBA career. So it takes a strong mentality to do that, and when you can enforce that mentality to yourself during the summer, it will stick with you because it will become a habit for you, not something that will have to be forced upon, you know, by trainers or your chefs. You know, eat right. So it won't be so much as forced as it will be just to be a natural habit for him. So his mentality will be much more improved and rounded out this summer. And when you have that mentality in the game, that can always be an added attribute to when you're playing on the floor, to have the IQ of the game and really just be strong-minded on the floor when you're playing with your team. So his mentality will be much more rounded out this season. And then there's his versatility and shooting. Now, you guys saw the videos where, you know, they were doing some UCLA runs, you know, how they do those 5v5 runs. And you guys saw how Myles Turner's game has really improved since, you know, he's been putting in that work in the gym and, you know, working on his game. So you guys can really see how Myles Turner is starting to adapt his game based on the transformations he's been able to make to his body and his diet. He looks more energetic on the floor. He looks like he has more energy, better conditioning, although it was 5v5 against players that really don't play the game professionally anymore or at all, but there were a few professionals in that run up. So it was just really good to see how Myles Turner was really able to diversify his game even further after putting in all this work in the summer. So his versatility on the floor will be much more improved next season and will make him much more of a threat next season to those centers playing down low. So his versatility, while shooting is his best attribute and blocking shots, maybe with his added strength, conditioning, maybe lateral quickness, he can start to become that player that we're all expecting to be in that, you know, shot blocker, elite defender down low, similar to a Rudy Gobert. So hopefully he can really do that and contribute that to his game next season based on what he was able to do to his body and diet this summer. And guys, another thing is the Pacers will probably look to get Myles Turner more shots this season, because there's a stat, I forget what the stat is, but it's like when Myles Turner takes around 10 shots a game, he makes like 90% of them or something like that, to where Myles Turner is really efficient with shooting the ball and when he gets those open looks or just looks in general. So, you know, I mentioned in one of my previous Pacers video how Myles Turner had like the 4th best true shooting percentage in the league last year, and this stat really backs that up on how Myles Turner is really efficient when shooting the ball. So that's going to be key to when players are guarding him, so he's able to pull people away from the paint and, you know, give Oladipo and Tyreke Evans more opportunities to drive to the basket and maybe kick out to an open player. So really expect Myles Turner to get more looks next season and more shots up. And, you know, Myles Turner has more depth around him now, so if he's having a bad game, this is one thing where depth on your team can really help you out. So if Myles Turner is having a really bad game or just having a rough game and, you know, he's like 2 for 8 from the field, you know, not getting really any rebounds, you know, but this is where depth can really play to your advantage. So, you know, if Myles Turner is having a bad game, like I mentioned, and, you know, the Pacers run a few plays for him where he gets a few open looks down low, you know, a couple dunks, and then, you know, he gets a block or two on the other end on defense, you know, that can really start to boost up your confidence in your game. And then Myles Turner can get really into his rhythm and shooting shots. Confidence is key on the court. That's one of the main things to have on the floor is confidence and the IQ of the game. So the two best things you can always have on the basketball court is IQ and confidence. And that's where depth can really play to your advantage as a team. So, if Miles Turner is having a bad game, you got the likes of Quinn, McDermott, Oladipo, Tyreke Evans, Collison, Bojan. They have so many guys that they can turn to if Miles is having a bad game to really take the emphasis off his bad game and put it to other players to where, if they're starting to have a good game, like Collison or Oladipo is having a good game, Oladipo's pushing for 30 and Tyreke is pushing for like 25, and then people start to pay more attention to those guys, and then the point of emphasis is taken off of Miles Turner, then they can start going back to Miles Turner, and that's when Turner will start getting those open looks, because at some point they're going to have to start closing in on Oladipo and Evans and Collison to when they drive to the basket. Someone's going to have to leave Turner open to stop them from scoring. That's when Miles Turner can really get those open looks to boost up his confidence. So that's where depth can play a huge role in your team. So, if you don't have that, Miles Turner would probably have to keep on struggling into the game until he gets his shot on or until something else happens. So, and then Miles Turner will have one more year under his belt, no matter what sport you do or anything you do in life. One more year of experience in anything will definitely help you no matter what you do. So one more year under his belt with the Pacers team, and that's the crazy thing, guys. Like, last year's Pacers team was their first year together. They had like 11 new guys on the roster from that previous year. They lost like their whole team, and they just brought in like 11 new guys to that team, and they won 48 games. So that's why going into next year, he will have that 1 year, and he will know what to expect. So anytime you have 1 year under your belt, and experience is the best teacher you can have. So one more year under your belt, more experience, that can always benefit a player or any occupation that you may have or do. Experience can always help you no matter what. So he'll come into next season being prepared of what to expect, because before last season, everybody thought that Miles Turner was going to be that #1 guy, whereas, it was actually Victor Oladipo. He came into this Pacers team. Nate McMillan pulled him aside and said, "You're going to be our guy." So now Miles Turner knows what to expect. He sees Tyreke Evans coming in. He knows what to expect from him. And he sees the likes of Victor Oladipo, what he's now capable of. Whereas a lot of people around the league didn't know that coming into the season, that Victor Oladipo was going to be the player that he was last season or this season. So Miles Turner knows what to expect. So he knows that Victor Oladipo is the guy. Tyreke Evans is probably going to be the second or third option along with him, and then you have Sabonis. So he now knows that there are 4 main people on this team: Domantas Sabonis, Miles Turner, Victor Oladipo, and Tyreke Evans. So he now knows what this core is and what people to give the ball to if he gets in trouble, or who to give the ball to in situations down the stretch. So he now knows what to expect going into next season, to whereas before last season, no one really knew, or everyone expected Miles Turner to be that guy, where now you know what to expect. Victor Oladipo has established his stardom in this team and in this league, and Miles Turner knows that. And Tyreke Evans, everybody coming into this team, Quinn, McDermott, everybody now knows that coming into this team, they are a team. They played together all season, but then again, you still have those stars on your team. Guys, with that being said, this Pacers team has a really bright future ahead of them. And they're one of the youngest teams in the league, and that's a really good asset to have for your team. It's young, talented players that are winning almost 50 games a season. So hopefully this Pacers team can really exceed their expectations once again this season and get past that 50-win mark and maybe push for 55 or 56 wins next season. So I expect them to finish in the top 3 seedings for sure. I can't wait to see what this Pacers team can do next year. And again, if Miles Turner's transformation is anything like Victor Oladipo's, and you guys saw how impactful a transformation can be, so if his transformation is anything like Vic's, then this Pacers team is in really good shape, guys. So let me guys know what you think about this Pacers team. Let me know what you think about Miles Turner and how he can really transform this Pacers team from being really good to really great. So guys, let me know what you think. Where do you see the Pacers landing in next season? Do you see them as a top 3 seed, top 4 seed? Do you see them getting to the Eastern Conference Finals? Do you see them making the finals? I mean, it seems far-fetched from now, but I guarantee you down the season, you will start to see how good this Pacers team really is. So let me know what you think down in the comments. Thank you for watching this video. It's been your boy Mike, and you can let that beat drop.